certain athletes achieve the most illustrious records in sports history. LeBron James is in a league of his own, yet there exist records that no NBA athlete aspires to hold. It's widely recognized that LeBron James tops the chart for the highest points scored in NBA history. However, are you aware he also possesses a record that's frankly quite mortifying? He's at the forefront for committing the most turnovers in the league's history. Far from merely holding this record, he shatters it, leading the runner-up by more than 400 turnovers. This implies that over his 2-decade-long career, he's averaged about 3.5 turnovers per game, and it doesn't seem like he's going to decelerate anytime soon, providing ample opportunity to extend his lead on this record. Yet, in a few years, he might face stiff competition from Russell Westbrook, who currently ranks third for the most turnovers in NBA history, amassing 4,443 turnovers, and evidently has a penchant for losing possession, averaging 3.8 turnovers per game. Nonetheless, this isn't the sole unflattering record associated with Westbrook. On February 13, 2017, during a regular season face-off against the Wizards, starting from 3:28 in the second quarter until there were only 6 minutes remaining in the third, the Thunder failed to net a single shot. They consecutively missed 24 shots, setting the record for the most consecutive missed shots in NBA history. Their only points during this drought came from 5 free throws, with the score plummeting from 61, 52 to 91, 57. Westbrook wasn't responsible for all 24 misses, but he uniquely holds the record for attempting 11 shots in a game and missing each one, a feat he has accomplished twice. This is, in its own right, quite remarkable. However, the record for the most missed shots in a game without a single success belongs to Tim Hardaway. Renowned for more than his signature crossover move, Hardaway etched his name into the annals of history on December 27, 1991. In a game against the Timberwolves, he attempted 17 shots and missed every single one. Despite this, he managed to contribute 2 points from the free throw line and tally up 13 assists, leading the Warriors to an overtime victory. Post-game, Hardaway remarked, "I'm going to frame this box score. I had to get an NBA record somehow. At least he can claim a spot in the record books." Similarly, Jason Curry might be considered one of the least successful players in NBA history. While many NBA careers are notably brief, Tyler Davis's lasted merely 54 seconds, Andrew Pino's was 33 seconds, and Alex Gill's spanned only 9 seconds. Yet Jason Curry holds the record for the shortest NBA career. Drafted 51st by the Bulls in the 2007 NBA draft, it wasn't until 2010 that he made his debut. After signing a 10-day contract with the Los Angeles Clippers, he was given a chance to play with only 3.9 seconds left in a game on January 24, 2010. His NBA career concluded with no points, rebounds, or assists, and just 1 game to his name. Reflecting on his brief appearance, he stated, "It was the quickest 4 seconds ever. I wish it would have lasted longer. Being out there, I just felt like a regular person, like a regular basketball player. I felt like I was at home, like this is where I belong." Unfortunately, he was cut the following day and never returned to the NBA, but he can forever claim he holds an NBA record. Having the shortest NBA career might not be a source of pride, nor is the record established by Bubba Wells. On December 29, 1997, Wells had a singular task: to foul Dennis Rodman as frequently and swiftly as possible. This day marked the inception of the hack-a-Shaq strategy, despite its naming after Shaquille O'Neal, beginning with Wells and Rodman. As the Chicago Bulls were on their way to securing their second three-peat, with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen at the helm, the Dallas Mavericks saw only one viable strategy to stand a chance: intentionally fouling Dennis Rodman, known for his poor free throw shooting, making roughly half of his attempts. Thus, the Mavericks opted to have Rodman at the free throw line rather than attempting to halt Jordan. Wells, having played only a single NBA season across 39 games, made history that night. Each time Rodman had the ball, Wells committed a foul. Despite Wells exhausting his 6 fouls in just 2 minutes and 43 seconds, scoring 2 points, and committing 6 fouls in roughly 3 minutes, the strategy failed. Rodman succeeded in making 9 out of 12 free throws, and the Mavericks were defeated. Nonetheless, owning the record for the fastest foul out is less humiliating than missing the most free throws in a single game. Andre Drummond is notorious as one of the NBA's least efficient free throw shooters, with a career average of 47%. However, in 2015, he shot a mere 35% from the line for the season, ranking him second for the worst single-season free throw percentage. The situation deteriorated further when he set the record for the most missed free throws in a single game that year. With the Pistons leading against the Rockets, They resorted to the hack-a-Shaq strategy late in the second quarter. Drummond's continuous misses forced the Pistons to bench him. Leading by 9 at halftime, the Rockets initiated the third quarter by compelling Drummond to persist in his free throw attempts. They even deployed backup KJ McDaniels to foul Drummond 5 times consecutively in under 3 minutes. Drummond managed only 5 successful free throws out of 16 attempts during this period and was benched again after just 2.5 minutes, with the lead reduced to a single point. He remained sidelined until midway through the fourth quarter, and upon re-entry, was immediately fouled twice, missing all 4 attempts. Ultimately, he concluded the game having missed 23 of 36 free throws, breaking the record for the most free throws missed in a game. It's particularly embarrassing when the opposing team's strategy revolves around forcing you to take free throws. However, James Harden faced a different challenge, not with free throws but with three-point attempts. Despite scoring 29 points, whenever he attempted a three-pointer, it almost invariably missed. Remarkably, he made only 1 out of 17 attempts, setting the record for the most three-pointers missed in a single game. Even more astonishing is that this wasn't a one-off occurrence. Harden has missed 16 three-pointers in a game not once, but 6 times. The only other player to have missed 16 three-pointers in a game is Damon Stoudemire, yet Harden has achieved this 6 times in his career. The situation worsened for Harden and the Rockets in 2018 during Game 7 against the Warriors. With the opportunity to dethrone what many consider the greatest team ever and advance to the NBA Finals, Harden and the Rockets established a new record for the most missed three-pointers in a playoff game. They failed to connect on 27 consecutive three-point attempts, starting with 6 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the second quarter, and continuing until there were 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. By game's end, the Rockets had made only 7 out of 44 three-point attempts, with Harden contributing just 2 of his 13 attempts. Throughout the series, Harden also set the record for the most missed three-pointers in a playoff series, with 59, including a streak of 22 consecutive misses. The following year, the Rockets broke another record for the most missed three-pointers in a game, attempting 73 and making only 23. It's a dire situation when a single team and player are responsible for every notable record for three-point shooting failures. Yet perhaps even more humbling is holding the record for playing on the most NBA teams. Ish Smith, a 6-foot point guard with career averages of 7.3 points, less than 20 minutes per game, and mediocre three-point shooting, owns a record that might never be surpassed. He has played for 13 of the NBA's 30 teams, nearly half the league, over 13 years, culminating in an NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets. While Smith may have played for the most teams, Trevor Ariza holds the distinction of being traded the most. Over 17 years, Ariza averaged more than 10 points per game and was recognized as one of the league's top defenders, resulting in him being traded 11 times. He was passed from the Knicks to the Magic, then to the Lakers, Hornets, Wizards, back to the Rockets, to the Wizards again, then to the Blazers, back to the Rockets, to the Pistons, the Thunder, and finally, to the Heat. This doesn't even account for the teams he joined as a free agent. By the end of his career, he had played for 12 different NBA teams and been traded 11 times, trailing only Ish Smith by 1 team. Nevertheless, he secured a championship with the Lakers in 2009. Speaking of the Lakers, one of their legendary players, Kobe Bryant, holds one of the NBA's most unusual records. Bryant, one of the greatest to ever play the game, has multiple records to his name, such as being the youngest player to start an NBA game, the youngest to become an NBA All-Star, and the oldest to score 60 points in a game. However, not all records are flattering, as evidenced by his record for the most missed field goals in a career. Over 20 years, Bryant missed 14,481 shots, the highest in NBA history. LeBron James is currently only 500 misses behind, potentially positioning him to hold the records for both the most turnovers and missed shots in NBA history. LeBron and Kobe are not alone in their shooting struggles. In 1950, the Fort Wayne Pistons and the Minneapolis Lakers participated in the lowest scoring NBA game ever, combining for a total of 37 points, with a final score of 19-18. The Pistons' strategy was to hold the ball for as long as possible, exploiting the absence of a shot clock to prevent the Lakers from scoring. After taking the lead, they refused to relinquish the ball. Vern Mickelson led the game in scoring with 6 points, while the Pistons' top scorer, John Oldham, 5 points. This game prompted the NBA to introduce the 24-second shot clock 4 years later, ensuring no team could monopolize possession for an entire game again. The 1950s also witnessed the longest NBA game in history, a 6-overtime marathon between the Indianapolis Olympians and the Rochester Royals, concluding with a score of 75-73. The first 4 overtimes saw both teams combine for only 4 points. In the final overtime, the Royals failed to score, and the Olympians managed just 2 points, enough to end the longest game ever recorded. Discussing embarrassing NBA records, Tony Snell's performance, or lack thereof, stands out. Playing for 28 minutes and 20 seconds, Snell recorded 0 points, rebounds, assists, or any other statistic, except for 1 foul. He was essentially present on the court for exercise. This phenomenon wasn't unique to Snell. In 2011, Joel Anthony of the Miami Heat played for 29 minutes without attempting a single shot, though he did record 1 turnover and 4 fouls. If given 29 minutes in an NBA game, one might expect to contribute more than mere zeros across the stat sheet. Yet, despite owning one of the more ignominious records, Tony Snell also holds a potentially unbreakable record. He hasn't missed a free throw in 4 years, with his last miss occurring in 2019, a time when D. Wade and Dirk Nowitzki were still active players. Although Snell rarely takes free throws, he's made only 46 in the past 4 years. The streak is nonetheless impressive. The last time he missed, Kevin Durant was a warrior. Even the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, has his share of embarrassing moments. In 1990, Jordan, then averaging 33.6 points per game and shooting 37.6% from three-point range, the 4th highest percentage of his career, entered the three-point contest. Having already won 2 dunk contests in 1987 and 1988, Jordan was ready to challenge himself further. Competing alongside teammate Craig Hodges in the first round, spectators were about to witness an unexpected outcome. Jordan managed to make only 5 out of 30 three-point attempts, a mere 16.67% success rate, casting a shadow over his claim to being the greatest of all time. Lastly, Don Boven holds a unique record for the most consecutive ejections in NBA history. A forward for the Milwaukee Hawks in 1952, Boven played 3 seasons in the NBA, averaging 9 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 2 assists per game across 3 teams. Despite his brief career, he is remembered for being ejected in 6 consecutive games, a testament to the physicality of the NBA in the 1950s. Boven's record for fouling out in such a consistent manner is one of the league's more peculiar statistics. For those intrigued by NBA records, particularly the less flattering ones, exploring instances of players caught cheating in the league offers additional entertainment.